Interior, various wizard homes, afternoon. Montage of preparation. The Marauders and friends are ready for routine patrol in an area suspected of Death Eater activity. James Potter and Lily Evans share a quick kiss as they disapparate from Potter Cottage. At his flat, Sirius Black puts on leather gloves. Peter Pettigrew imitates Sirius, but by popping his collar. He eyes Sirius for approval. Remus Lupin pauses in front of a mirror at Sirius's flat, noticing his facial scars. Sirius moves him out of the way to adjust his rock star hair. At their flat, Dorcas Meadows waits at the door. Marlene McKinnon joins her. They clasp hands. Marlene lifts Dorcas's hand up to kiss it. At his house, Edgar Bones says goodbye to his wife, Polly. Polly smooths his coat with a nervous smile. Alice and Frank Longbottom part at the front door. Alice blows a kiss before disapparating, and Frank waves to the empty space. Brothers Gideon and Fabian Pruitt apparate into the Longbottom's foyer that Alice just vacated. Frank stops waving, tapping his watch, and the brothers shrug with a guilty, oops. Exterior, Northwoods, Malfoy Estate, early evening. The golden sunset shines over the well-pruned woodland growing at the edge of the Malfoy Estate. Witches and wizards apparate into the clearing. Marlene and Peter remain at the tree line to stand guard. Lily, the Pruitts, and Dorcas head south. Remus, Sirius, and Alice head east, and James and Edgar head west. It is summer 1979. Exterior, Northwoods, Malfoy Estate, early evening. Marlene paces. Peter watches the trees nervously.
Oh, buck up, Pete. I was quiet.
You say that every week.
And every week, I'm right.
I want to go home.
Where's that Gryffindor bravery?
At home, where it belongs. I'm sure the others haven't seen anything. Hope they make it quick.
Exterior, West Woods, Malfoy Estate, early evening. Edgar walks beside James.
Right there, Bonesy.
All right, Jimmy.
James immediately trips over a branch.
You seem distracted.
We're on our eighth watch for the Death Eaters, but my mind's all mucked up with flowers. Flowers!
Lilies, I presume.
And decorations. Why is it so hard for me to pick just one thing? They're all so lovely.
They look deeper into the trees. From here, faint lights that line the walk to the estate start to turn on.
Makes me uneasy out here without cover.
If only the ministry took reports of Death Eater activity seriously, but they barely listen to their orders. Are dogs allergic to primroses? Sorry.
Edgar claps James's shoulder.
Those things are still important, James, my boy. You'll do just fine with the wedding, I promise.
Exterior, East Woods, Malfoy Estate, early evening. Cut to the patrolling Sirius, Remus, and Alice.
You shh.
Sirius sticks his finger too close to Alice's ear, like a little brother giving an older sister a bad time. Alice slaps his hand away.
Tell him to be an adult.
Do you think he listens to me?
I think you're the only one he listens to.
When the mood strikes.
Well, that's it. Window's passed. If anyone was coming or going, they'd do so right about now.
So, pint when we get back?
There's a movement in the underbrush. Wands are immediately pointed in the direction of the noise, but it's our group from the south returning. Lily, Dorcas, Gideon, and Fabian.
Nothing for us.
All's quiet here too.
Did you really think old Daddy Malfoy would show his hand so easily?
Daddy Malfoy?
Fabian's always had a thing for older men.
We'll just have to keep trying till we get what the auras need.
Won't that make for a very fun honeymoon for you, though, will it?
I presume you lot can handle that without me?
The honeymoon?
The patrols.
No, we can handle it. More patrols, whatever the order needs.
Remus pops his neck, knuckles, stretches his arms as if preparing for a jog. His lycanthropy would present as the aches and pains of chronic illness.
Expecting a race, are we?
Old injury.
Perhaps it's not a Death Eater safe house. It's just a manor of muggle-hating purebloods, and we're wasting our time. I'm not sure the Ministry will do anything, even if we do find proof.
Imagine Lucius's face if we blot the Malfoy reputation.
He'll find a way to make it work in his favor.
We have to unmask Abraxas Malfoy to get the proof we need.
Not just Malfoy.
Thinking of anyone in particular, Black?
No.
With the Ministry's cooperation, we'd stand a chance.
Till they allow us auras to use unforgivable curses, the order is struck.
Don't see what the big deal is. Cast a curse if you must. Ask for forgiveness later.
Serious?
Lily?
You let us know how that works out for you.
They're conveniently nearsighted with the Black family.
Well, we'd like you to stay alive and out of Azkaban.
Think of this, at least, Sirius. You cast an unforgivable curse and the Ministry makes an example of you. And why wouldn't they? Anna is doing everything she can to convince the Wizengamot so that Crouch can sign off the authorization. If one of us used an unforgivable before the law is passed, it would jeopardize everything Anna's done so far. We can't afford to make any mistakes.
He looks off at the faint glow of the manor house in the distance. Exterior, West Woods, Malfoy Estate, early evening. Edgar and James glimpse something through the trees. Wands out. Two Death Eaters are walking away from the manor, disappearing into the tree line about 10 yards ahead.
Merlin's beard, look.
We need to rejoin the others.
James and Edgar both brace for disapparition. For a moment, reality bends around them in a mirage-like twisting shape, then dissipates. Nothing's happened.
Oh no.
Another pair of Death Eaters appear, this time facing them.
Run!
They race into the trees. A chase ensues. James and Edgar leap over a fallen log, triggering an unexpected alarm, a caterwauling charm. Exterior, East Woods, Malfoy Estate, early evening. Lily's group hears the screeching, caterwauling charm.
Let's go.
They all try to disapparate and fail. A pair of Death Eaters emerge from the tree line some 30 feet away.
Scatter!
Remus, Sirius, and Alice rush to one side. Lily, the Pruitts, and Dorcas veer in the opposite direction. The Death Eaters give chase, forced to split up. Exterior, North Woods, Malfoy Estate, early evening. Marlene and Peter hear the alarm.
Okay, now we get to go, yeah?
The only reason they wouldn't apparate here right now is if they couldn't. There's probably an anti-disapparition jinx around the manor. We have to wait for them.
Marlene puts a hand on his shoulder.
I need to know you've got my back, Pettigrew.
Of course I do. Of course I do.
Exterior, East Woods, Malfoy Estate, early evening. A Death Eater casts a spell. A pinkish red light shatters in the trees above Alice's head. She ducks, tries to disapparate again, no luck.
Ugh!
She casts a wordless charm over one shoulder. A tree branch snaps and falls behind them, cutting off Death Eater visibility.
Keep up, Longbottom!
I think the alarm's coming from over there.
You see to Pot and Bones. I'll lead them away.
Remus and Sirius branch off into the denser trees. Alice keeps ahead, casting various charms and spells over her shoulder. Forest growth increases, bushes thickening, her tracks covered. Exterior, Southwest Woods, Malfoy Estate, early evening. Sirius and Remus plunge toward a small clearing with near perfect visibility of 2 Death Eaters inside. They drop behind cover at the edge.
Clearly James isn't over there.
Other side, maybe? Or to check?
Yeah, or wait until they've gone so you don't get your head blasted off.
I knew you cared about my hair.
I'm more concerned about what's under it.
My eyebrows?
Yes, Padfoot, I'm concerned about the state of your eyebrows.
I'm only joking. I know you meant my nose.
The Death Eaters pace the clearing.
Roger, do you see anything?
Oh, I wonder what that Death Eater's name is.
What's the point of the bloody masks if they keep saying their names?
The lure of mystery.
I'm allured.
Death Eaters circle closer.
I'll distract them and cover you, and you run.
Go. I'll cover you.
No, you. I said I'll cover you.
I said go first.
No, I said go first.
Go, 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 go!
James blasts between them at top speed. Edgar isn't far behind, waving his arms.
Who's saying out loud?
The Death Eaters are at a run behind them. There's a flash of magic like a firework, poisonous green. A 3rd Death Eater joins the chase. Sirius looks over his shoulder. The Death Eater has him in his line of sight and lowers his wand without firing. But there's no time to be curious. Sirius keeps running. Exterior, North Woods, Malfoy Estate, early evening. Marlene paces.
Guard the checkpoint, they said. It would be fun, they said.
This isn't fun for you.
Alice bursts through the trees.
Yeah!
Remus and Sirius are right behind me.
You left them unsupervised.
What am I supposed to do? Put them on leashes?
Lily, the Pruitts, and Dorcas arrive. Dorcas skids as if about to fall, but she twists on her knees and sends a blast of magic into the seemingly empty tree line. A Death Eater falls out of the trees in their clearing with a howl, clutching at his mask, then immediately disapparates.
At least one Death Eater won't be leaving his house for the next few days.
That's my girl.
James.
Oh, not yet.
You two go on and make sure the Bones house is secure.
Gideon and Fabian disapparate. James, Sirius, Remus, and Edgar arrive breathlessly, waving their arms with warning.
They're this way, they're this way. What are you lot waiting for? Go, go, go!
With a swirl of magic, they disappear.
The last 2 Death Eaters cast an unforgivable curse a millisecond too late, landing in empty space.
Interior, Edgar Bones' living room, night. Our heroes apparate into a pleasant living space. Long drapes and old-fashioned lamps, magical items scattered about, photographs that move, sitting on end tables. Gideon and Fabian are present already, slumped on the ground. They look a little worse for wear from their run through the woods. Dorcas has a leaf in her hair.
You all right?
I'm all right. You?
Yeah. Bugger, that was too close.
Way too close.
Remus has his hands on his knees to catch his breath. James and Lily notice immediately, checking on him.
Did everyone make it back?
Everyone looks about the room as if counting. Remus straightens up.
All right, sound off.
Polly enters from upstairs, embracing Edgar.
The pumpkin patch asleep.
I tried very hard to wait up for you, but yes.
Edgar and Polly slip to the kitchen. Sirius flops onto the couch like a teenager, and Lily embraces Marlene.
How did it go for you two?
Oh, we had a great time, didn't we, Pete?
Sure, Griffin Moody will be delightful, but unfortunately, I'm off duty for the rest of the evening.
Oh, Frank, we missed him on patrol.
Oh, did he lose the coin toss? Bad luck.
Not at all. He was going to have his father over for Wizard's Chess.
Oh. Sounds nice.
I'll tell him you asked after him.
Bye.
Alice disapparates out of the middle of the room. It shakes a side table lamp. Sirius studies it with his hand without looking.
Wait, that's our time too.
Weasley babysitting duty.
Don't suppose you're just trying to avoid seeing Moody?
What an accusation!
Who wouldn't want to see that, beautiful face?
I certainly would.
But Uncle Duty does come first.
So unless Moody would like to put in an application to be our 6th nephew, he's out of luck.
Don't forget to be light on the details when you tell Molly where you've been tonight.
We were at home knitting, of course, doing nothing dangerous whatsoever.
Gideon grabs a handful of flue powder out of a bowl on the mantle and tosses it into the fireplace. The flames turn green, and they step inside.
The burrow!
They disappear in a whoosh of green flames. Edgar returns with tea as Marlene pulls the leaf out of Dorcas's hair.
About ready to meet with Moody, Edgar?
I think he'll be pleased we finally encountered Death Eaters coming and going. As pleased as he can be.
The Ministry has no choice but to finally end old Malfoy and his family's influence.
However, wizards have been accused of worse and remain as suspected as they've ever been.
That lot will defend him to the grave. Believe me, I know.
Do you mean Snape?
What was that?
They do it every time Severus Snape's name comes up in conversation.
Wasn't he a classmate of yours?
A bully. He treats anyone who isn't a pureblood badly, especially Lily. I invoke the right to disrespect him as a matter of principle.
Whereas I refuse to spend a single drop of energy more.
Well, time for us to report to Alistair. You're welcome to stay and finish your tea.
Dorcas, I'll see you at home.
Or you could come with me. It'll be fun.
Or wait till Moody is in a better mood.
Then you'll be waiting forever. Come on.
We'll drop in to help James with wedding plans a bit later, okay? Flowers, right?
For the love of Godric, help me, Marlene. Flowers.
Dorcas, Edgar, and Marlene disapparate together to see Moody.
Anyone fancy that pint now?
Interior, Ministry of Magic hallways, evening. Anna heads home for the night, another long day of defeat. She approaches Bartimus Crouch Sr. and Albert Lawrence. Lawrence passes Anna on his way out.
Anna, you did splendidly in there, even if they weren't very receptive. No, all yours are behind you.
Thank you, Albert.
That was a spirited performance, Miss Cohen.
Thank you.
If only it were so simple to put quill to parchment and authorize curse to kill.
We can sway enough pureblood families, I'm sure the minister will agree.
You have a lot to learn about bureaucrats.
They're in as much danger as you or I. If Aurors are not allowed the resources to protect us, what can we hope to do?
Crouch notices Balthazar Selwyn walking by them. There is an obvious smile from Selwyn, a self-inflated politician and head of the improper use of magic office.
I reject all of you-know-who's rhetoric, and will continue to forge a path towards curse to kill being authorized.
Of course, our fight would be impossible without its pioneer.
Too true. You are a credit to your department, Crouch. Though I prefer to resolve these things peacefully, despite our disagreements. You have my utmost respect. You will make a fine member of the Wizengamot yourself one day.
Thank you.
Losing these little battles is just part of growing up. You're gaining incredible learning experience.
Oh, nothing is lost. I will be preparing another presentation within the week.
Our Anna is full of youthful energy. Hufflepuffs, you know. Well, I expect you to be here bright and early tomorrow.
I'm sure you'll continue to impress us all.
Selwyn exits.
Tomorrow, perhaps we can further strategize on ways we can...
Yes. Very good. Fine.
Crouch exits. Emily Vance swoops to Anna's side, linking her arm through hers.
Do you want me to kill him?
Which one?
Open to recommendations. Do you want to get drinks? Ice cream, maybe? No. No.
Please.
Fine. Flourish and blots it is. You happy, Puff?
I'll be distracted anyway. I'll be happy when he signs the authorization.
That's the spirit.
Anna slings on her Hufflepuff scarf. Emmeline adjusts it, and they exit. Interior, Sirius's flat, night. A comfortable mess. A large motorcycle tire sits on the center table with tools strewn about. Magical lights bob in the corners. Gryffindor colors are noticeable. A flash of green light. James, Sirius, Remus, Peter, and Lily stand in the crowded living room, brushing soot from their clothes. James beelines for the kitchen.
Where's the booze hiding, Sirius?
And the biscuits I left here last time.
What's happened to your motorbike? Where's the rest of it?
Leave it.
Sirius, you've got no glasses.
Left cupboard.
These? They're so tiny.
No, please don't hold back. Tell me what you really think.
I don't think I haven't noticed. You've been quiet since we got back. Everything all right?
Did Sirius get cursed again?
No, it's nothing, really. I might have seen Regulus.
Really?
Sure it was Regulus?
Yeah, how do you know? They've all got masks on.
He was running but wasn't casting spells.
Is that all?
Sirius rubs the top of Peter's head affectionately.
Yeah, I won't tell. That was all.
Sirius pours the drinks.
A toast.
Oh, this isn't practice for your best man speech, is it?
No, in fact, a toast to our first...
First? We've been scouting for weeks.
Let me finish. To finally catching the Malfoys in the act.
To not dying, even though we probably...
Definitely.
Could have.
I'll drink to that.
To this family.
There's a tap on the window. An owl perches outside carrying a neatly folded piece of parchment to deliver. Peter goes to the window to let it in. Peter accepts the letter and the owl flaps away from the window, which Sirius hurriedly gets up to close.
What's it say, Pete?
Moody's called an emergency meeting.
He passes the letter to Sirius for scrutiny.
If I wanted to sit in a meeting all day, I'd go to work with Anna.
Kiss for good luck, anyone?
Every time I think to myself, he might not say it, and each time you do.
Where are we supposed to go, Wormtail?
Hogsmeade, the little empty room.
I know the one. Let's go.
The flat empties with a mirage twist of disapparition. Some of Sirius' tools fall off the table. Interior, dining room, night. A fire crackles in the fireplace. A man's hand graces the top of the long dining table, the fingers tapping in a slow rhythm of cool indifference. The hand lifts a glass of wine out of frame for a sip, lowers it again. This is Mulciber Sr. A man and a woman enter the dining room. This is Rodolphus and Bellatrix Lestrange. Loyal followers of the Dark Lord Voldemort, though they're rarely in the room with higher levels of command.
Report.
Yes, sir. As you know, we've been hoping for some occasion in which the minister is a little bit more exposed.
And?
There is no such occasion yet, sir.
Lestrange, what is this? You said you had news.
Begging your pardon, sir. Nothing on the calendar as of yet. But we had heard rumors of the minister planning some sort of soiree, something grand for charity.
Interesting.
If we storm the ministry itself, sir, we can drag them face first down their own steps. We can...
We are not staging a battle of the ministry. They have never fallen.
I'm afraid my wife is never without hope.
And you've exhausted that suggestion for the last time, Bellatrix. These mudbloods and tainted wizards are always having some sort of rally. We will bide our time.
They're trying to pass measures in the ministry to let the Aurors use unforgivable curses against the Dark Lord's followers.
I'm already aware of this. If you have nothing more, you're dismissed. Are you just going to stand there?
There are supporters in place when the Dark Lord wishes to infiltrate the ministry.
Do not presume to know the Dark Lord's wishes, Bellatrix. It's getting embarrassing for you.
Yes.
Yes, what?
Yes. Sir. Did the Dark Lord not say there was something he wanted there?
I think that information is a little above you, don't you think?
I am, and I always will be, my Lord's most loyal and humble servant.
You're a dog. You snap and you bark and you go where we point. Sometimes you're useful enough to play fetch. Get out.
Come, darling, let's go. That went poorly.
That will be the last time he treats us this way.
There isn't anything you can do about the chain of command, my dear. Unless you took his place, which you can't.
Can't I?